Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Mind Grind. I'm Jeff, Jessica, Eric, and we're here today to talk about a Minnesota mom who was just found guilty for killing her 6-year-old son. She was given life in prison. She had a chance to plea bargain and to maybe get a lesser sentence and maybe plead insanity. Twice she had that opportunity and refused to take it, claimed that she might have had something to do with the murder, but she's not the one that shot her son.
Might have had something. What does that even mean? I
Right.
might have had something to do with it, but okay, what was it then?
The dead body in the trunk.
Yeah, so the kid's body was
body with
found in the
400 holes
trunk
in it.
in the trunk of her car. You know, she was pulled over driving down the road. She had one tire completely gone. So she's riding on the rim, right? Bouncing up and down, just driving down the street.
Back windshield's
minding her
gone, right?
business. The back windshield's completely shattered.
Yeah.
And so the cop's like, I guess I probably should pull this
It's
car
a routine
over.
stop here.
And then it searches the car and of course finds the dead kid in the trunk.
How
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So it's like, okay, if you're innocent, then why didn't you there tell the cop, oh, by the way, someone killed my kid. He's in the trunk of my car. Yeah, it wasn't me. Somebody did it.
It just ended up there.
And put him in the back. So,
Yeah, how did she have a history of mental illness? Like, what was going on?
yeah, she'd been arrested several times. She had just won the custody battle of the kid, and through a grueling court battle. She had lost custody twice of the kid. She had been she'd been arrested several times. She got arrested for breaking in and stealing drugs from a health clinic, and multiple times she was arrested on bizarre behavior and all kinds of weird stuff. Police responded 21 times in 10 months on this lady, and somehow, some way, she ends up with this kid.
I don't know. The Minnesota system has failed at this point.
Minnesota. Yeah,
21 times.
they are failing big time. The dad has a lawsuit, of course, against the child services, ignoring several calls that he made to them and ignoring several signs that this woman was nuts, you know. And like Eric, you said earlier, you hear the story too often.
Oh yeah. I mean, the state can only do so much in regards to resources on relocating a child. And at the end of the day, the biological parents do in fact take precedent. But in this case, I mean, she'd been diagnosed where she has behavioral issues. There was drugs. She had drug issues. I mean, at what point does a red flag dictate that a child would be taken from a biological parent, you know? So whoever went out to do the well checks, specifically when dad decided to call in well checks, they failed miserably, and it wound up ultimately costing this child his life.
I mean, how bad was the dad that this woman seemed fit?
Yeah. He lost her.
Like, who knows? It doesn't obviously say anything about the dad, this article or whatever, but like...
But how do you lose to her?
Yeah.
Unless it's like you said, Minnesota's just a different place, man. It's just every time you turn on the news, you hear about crime in Minnesota and how they're soft on crime, and the judges there are awarding cases like this.
That's so crazy. So he was shot 9 times, this poor little boy.
The kid was shot 9 times.
Ugh.
Mom even went into the store and requested that she wanted ammunition that would create the biggest hole in someone.
Like, how's that? So how does Minnesota fail there, right? Like, if you own the store and someone says, I need some ammunition. Well, what kind, sir? The kind that's going to put the biggest hole in somebody.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they're thinking about murdering somebody?
I mean, at what point do you have a responsibility? I mean, seriously, if you're in that type of genre of business, you have to report those things.
Right, this lady came in, she looked kind of cuckoo, a little off her rocker, she's asking for ammo. I've never seen her before. The only thing she knew about ammo was she wanted to leave a big hole in somebody. Just another day at the shop, right?
Yeah, and then this spins off.
Minnesota, maybe.
Yeah, and then this thing spins off into who can and cannot get ammunition and weapons and stuff like that, and how good of a system is in place to screen those people too. Specifically in this case, because she had a history of mental illness.
Yeah.
She had a history of substance abuse.
How could she obtain ammo or guns or anything at that point if you have a mental illness?
But you know damn well, if she was turned away from getting ammo or a gun, she would have chopped him up, right, into a million pieces, like Fargo. Isn't that Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when your accomplice went into the wood chipper.
In the wood chipper. She would have put him in the wood chipper.
All for a little bit of money.
Get a gun, or she would have stabbed him to death, right?
Yeah.
Like she had it in her to kill the kid because he stayed up too late at night. Was the
That was
the
her
motive.
excuse.
Yeah, the boyfriend that she was with, ex-boyfriend, testified to police. He's not being charged with anything. He's not a suspect. He said that they were up late at night. The kid wouldn't go to sleep. She was frustrated with the kid. She was punching the kid, and he was punching back. They had fights.
Jesus.
The next morning when he woke up, they were gone. She came back alone. He said, "What's going on? Where'd you go?" She said, "I had to take care of some stuff." He said, "Well, where's the kid?" She said, "Don't worry about it." And then after that, she was pulled over, so.
This is all after she put the shotgun in the car.
Yeah, so she goes and puts the shotgun in the car, and and of course the boyfriend didn't do anything there either. It's just so suspect, this whole
Sweetheart,
story.
what's that bag of lime in the back of the truck for? So little Johnny and Jill's, listen out there. Don't make your folks ask you twice.
Go to bed when you're told.
Gosh.
If you go the second time, ain't gonna be fun.
9 o'clock, you start to wind down. 9:30, you go to bed. By 10, you should be dreaming.
Or else.
Or you're gonna get
Or
you're
else.
gonna get the trunk.
Gosh,
You're gonna get the trunk. 9
no.
shots.
Oh my.
Night night Johnny for good.
Oh.
Sorry.
This
But
is
no,
so
you're
sad.
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's messed up.
These stories of moms killing their kids and
Oh, yeah.
dads doing
Or dads,
mass
yeah.
suicides and killing everyone in the family, then killing themselves. You know, it's just, you know, it's just.
It's awful. It's awful, and it's also lazy, because what you want to do is you beat the kids with a telephone book above their skin. That way, all the hemorrhaging is underneath the skin. It doesn't show anything aesthetically.
How do you know this?
Says
Practice makes perfect,
Says
Jessica.
the guy whose kids could probably smoke him in a wrestling match. So that wouldn't work.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sad. It's pretty brutal that this keeps on happening. You know,
Yeah, and you said something about life insurance.
so
You
they're
think
thinking
that
the
could've been
only
a motive?
motive might have been that she's trying to collect on the life insurance policy, and you know, we'll see where it goes. Of course, I want to see where the lawsuit against the state goes. You know,
She should have went with something a lot more subtle than these shotguns. Maybe like, coolant, they use the antifreeze. You put it in Jell-O.
Oh my.
And it's hard to pick up. I'm just
That's how
telling
you-
you. I mean, you
It's hard
gotta
to
slide
pick up.
something in. What are you gonna do? Shoot your kid and be like, "Hey, I want some life insurance." That might not happen.
that's how you do.
How
the
do you do it
neighbor's-
subtly?
That's how you do the neighbor's cat. Yeah, no. If she's trying to collect on life insurance policy, definitely shooting the kid 9 times or throwing him in the back of the trunks. It might get the attention of the agent that it's probably fraud.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the
Seems like
day,
fraud.
it's important that we do stories like this. I mean, we've taken a kind of a comical spin on it, and it's certainly in no way funny. But I think we have to do a better job of screening this type of behavior, and never be quiet. Like they always say, if you see something, report something. I think that's very applicable here.
Yeah.
And this could have been stopped on many levels. Like the state, if they went out for the well checks, should have been able to pick up on these behaviorals. Her history easily should have been a red flag that this
Arrested.
child was not in a very good place in regards to where he was staying. And then of course, it's just a sad situation all around.
Yeah, and like you said, the law is too handcuffed these days on certain things that they can prosecute on or move in on, and it's almost like, okay, fill out a report. When it's too late, at least we'll have the report. Once a crime has reached too far, I know women go through this all the time with abusive men, right? They're like, hey, this guy's gonna kill me, he's gonna kill me, he's gonna kill me, and everyone's like, okay, well, report it, and then next thing you know, she's dead, and they're like, hey, we knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
like-
too late.
Yeah, it's like a cry wolf situation there too. Sometimes it's a legitimate, authentic
Yeah.
concern, and then sometimes people use the TPOs of the world, temporary protection orders, just because they're kind of manipulating the system to create a problem for the receiving person. So
Yeah.
Whatever happened to lie detector tests? Like, why don't we just give everybody in the world a lie detector test? The cops should run around with them in their car and be like, I didn't do it. Really? Put your thumb in here. Looks like you did do it.
yeah,
They're like 99.99%
Yeah.
sure.
there's a dead kid in your trunk. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Somebody must have done that and
See, we could have
Slashed
solved it
my
right there at the
tire.
site.
Yeah.
So there's a lot we can do that's better, right? We can always get better. So
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point of the story.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Well, I mean, do you feel safe? Do you feel like if a man was stalking you, that you have the right resources, other than calling me and Eric and Chase and all of our good friends that would take care of it?
That's a one gray area, Jeff.
Yeah, it is a gray area. I'm not sure because I haven't been in that situation.
Thank God.
So I don't know. I can't really.
Because even if
answer
you're
that.
reporting and get a TPO or something like that, doesn't keep a person that's really,
Yeah.
Right,
like, focused on doing something, a harm to someone.
right. If
You know,
they've made up the
If
decision,
they're
gonna
determined,
do it.
they will
gonna
get
do
done no matter what.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost like you need friends that can take care of things like that, with outside of the law, right? It's just pretty sad.
Outside of the law.
Yeah, you can call the
Vigilantes.
cops.
That's right.
You can call the cops. They might
Hell's
not do
Angels.
anything, but I got plenty of friends on speed dial that I can
Yes.
call, and
Yeah.
they would probably take care of the problem.
Yeah.
And so, you hate to talk that way and threaten people that way, but what do you do? Like if I was a woman, I would feel helpless. I don't think that the cops would be able to help me. They come take a report and then they leave. You're sitting there by yourself at your house and it's dark outside. Homeboy's just waiting to come. Okay, cops are gone. I can make my move now.
Yep.
So, and then that goes back to like you're talking about, Eric, about the gun control issue. Like, in my opinion, if you don't have a gun to protect yourself, I think you're nuts, just as nuts as anybody else.
Every breath you take, every move you make. Remember that song from the
Stick
Police?
to your.
Day job? Whatever. I'm not get my point though.
On that note,
There's
we're out.
creepers.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.